how do you know me? Like you're here. We're here.
Right.
How do you know me? Why are you so willing to trust me? Because you didn't know me. This is the first time you're meeting me, but you've been showing up. Why?
Well, I believe I came across your page years ago, and I've just been receiving all of your emails since then. And every now and then, I would, read the emails, and it was like a lot of encouraging words and a lot that I resonated with. And just throughout the journey, like I would just come across it. And just this particular time in my life, I was like, it really just caught me. And I was like, okay, I really need to get in, get in. Like, I was like, it just felt right at the right time.
How did you know that I was the right person to assist you with this part, of your life journey?
I just felt the connection, like I guess my soul just spoke to me like, wow, like it's a lot that I could learn from you, and I was like, I don't want to keep putting it off, like, or let the money stop me.
Yeah.
Because that has been happening. Like, oh, I want to do that, but the money, but I was like, I'm ready to make that commitment.
Right.
For self, because I feel like I deserve that.
Yeah. So. You too. When it comes to making that commitment to self, what does that mean to you? What does it mean for you? What was life like before making that commitment?
Well, I just had a lot of self-esteem issues. Just having a lot of failed relationships, and I felt like some things you feel like you've gotten over or you healed from, and then it's like it starts to come back to surface, and it's like, what's going on? So I just was like, you know what? Just getting my nails done and makeup and stuff used to make me happy, but it's like it's deeper than that. And I just was like, I really want to get to the root of what's causing this circle that I keep going on, just repeating the same patterns. And, I just was like, I really want to understand, what's going on. Because it's just been constant up and down. So
what have you been diving into that has really helped you the most?
Just like the origins, understanding, like I never thought about mother wounds and even father wounds. Like I really didn't think about that. So just thinking back, from childhood, and see how much it has affected me as an adult. It's like, wow, like it's really deep. It's really deep. Like it really. And there's some things that I have probably buried and wasn't aware of, things that I've avoided. So just the origins. I like the chapter where you don't owe anybody anything.
Not a doggone thing, baby. Not nothing. Okay.
So I would go back to that chapter a lot, and also the failed relationships. Just, because sometimes you might miss a message. So you just want to go back and you probably learn something new. And a lot of what you went through as a child, I can resonate with. And so, I mean, the book is really powerful and inspirational, and I thank you for that.
Of course. I wrote it for you, darling. Yes. Goddess Awakening is my very first book. I published it this year, 2022. And it had been in the works since 2019, basically. The thing about that book is I actually started really writing it after the final time I considered suicide. So the last time I considered suicide was in 2019. And after I went through that and went through talking myself out of committing suicide, I sat down and I wrote that book. And I started that book at that time and I finished it this year. And it was so significant for me to really do it because I thought to myself, at the very least, I've been through so much and I've grown a lot, but at the very least, let me put something on paper so other people don't have to suffer the way I suffered. It's a big deal. Us as women, we've had so many layers stacked up against us. And it's not just us as women. If you look at any minority group, you will see that there has been some intentional effort to turn them against each other.
Right.
There's always an intentional effort because why? The strategy of the evil is always divide and conquer. That's the same strategy. They've been running that track since 1908 in BC. It's the same thing. So for us to be together, that's the revolution. That's the rebellion. That's the power. That's it. That's when all the stuff starts to disintegrate into nothing. So if there's anything that I could do to bring us together, I'm gonna do that. Because why not? Why not burn it all down? Right? Why not destroy all of it? Because it's caused so much damage in our lives.
Right.
And the damage that it's caused on us, you know what eventually happens after that? It trickles over to our descendants. Unless we can clean our own self up.
Right.
Unless we can do our own work. This is coming after me doing this work for about 10 years, right? So you can only imagine the things that I've seen in 10 years. I've seen a lot, okay? I've seen a lot. I've seen a lot, right? And one thing that's very common, I have to just speak on it. I have to address it. One thing that's very common when doing this type of work is that sometimes it can be confusing to women. They can look at you and say, okay, there's a few different responses. One response is, wow, she looks great. She's doing her thing, but I don't think I can trust her. That's a thing. Okay. So this comes after 10 years in the game. This is what I've learned. I don't think I can trust her. Right? But that's not about me.
Right. Self.
That's about themselves, right? So that's one. Oh, wow, she looks great. She looks amazing. She has so much energy. She has so much fire. That makes me uncomfortable. I'm uncomfortable with that. I don't like that.
It's insecurity.
Insecurity. Okay, come on. Somebody get this woman a mic so she can teach the class stuff. Insecurity. Why? And the only reason that you're insecure about it is because you have it yourself. You got that same fire and you don't know how to use your own fire. So you feel why?
Yeah.
So there's so many different, or you know what? I see it and it's great, but I'll do it later. Right? You mentioned that earlier on. What is that? Self-worth. I'm not even worth it now. I'm not even worth it now. I'll take care of me later. I'll do my work later. I'll put me off later. Let me keep focusing on.
Right.
So there's so many different things that keep us as women from getting the support that we need.
Right.
Because ultimately we could do our spiritual work, but we can't do everything ourselves. That's not why we wasn't created on an isolated island to do. That's not. We can't do it all ourselves. Even with men, one of the things that I've realized about men that's so significant, and I never thought about it, is that men are communal. Just like we are communal, we need to talk it out. We got to get this off our chest. We got to cry it out. All right, give thanks and praise. All right, men are communal in the same way, but we never thought about it because we don't see them in circles, rocking back and forth and crying. We don't. They're not doing that. But what have they done traditionally? They've been out with the bow and arrow, right? They've been out in the woods. They chopping wood. They running down to the stream. They jumping in the water together. They swimming together. They're together, but they're expressing that togetherness in a different way. But they still need each other. All of that is part of the healing process for men. All of that is part of the healing process.
Mm.
And it doesn't have to be something that is isolated forever, but it is necessary for us to heal with groups of each other.
Right.
Because there's a level of transparency, there's a level of progress, there's a level of evolution that we're able to experience in that togetherness, because we're no longer healing just us. We're healing our moms, we're healing our grandparents, we're healing our great grandparents.
Right.
We're doing all of this just by being with each other. Is there anything else that you learned so far that you feel like if women as a whole knew it, that we'd just be a lot better off?
That's a good question. I just feel like, a lot of women, they're so judgmental, and they criticize, and it just seems like, and competitive as well. Like, that's just not me. But when other women do that to me, it's like what's that about? And I just noticed a lot of attacks, and I could be minding my business and I'm attacked, and I'm just like, what is it that, like, why am I attracting that? But I just would like more women to be more supportive, and just be there for women more, and more just understanding, like, just, we don't have to be, everybody's beautiful in their own way, so I just learned that to just, still be you, but also, not be so judgmental and look at other people, what's not right with them, and look at yourself, just work with self. I don't know if that makes sense.
Of course that makes sense, girl. Does that make sense? Okay, all right. Good answer. So it sounds like your message is really just about, not being judgmental.
Yeah.
And being more accepting of other women.
Yeah.
The message is always, I'm not here to attack you. I'm not here to hurt you. I'm not here against you. We're here together.
Yeah.
So